I'd like to introduce Officer Nick Pasquarosa.
Good evening. I'd work up some remarks for this presentation that contain a bit of history to add a little color. Then this afternoon, a staff member came up to me and asked if I had signed her daughter's yearbook yet. Then she reminded me that I had signed her yearbook and the girl's father's yearbook when they graduated. And she asked me if that was wild. I came back in and I rewrote the speech because I realized that I don't need to add the history because apparently I have become the history. I know there is one short word that has come to your mind to describe me. Cool. And that's okay, but we don't have time to get into that right now. As I stand here tonight, I can tell you with authority and accuracy that there is no one serving in this building who's been here longer than me. For better or for worse, I have become the keeper of the institutional knowledge, and that's why I spent 2 days in the gym teaching you how to graduate, because I lived the tradition we are steeped in. When I got here in 1994, I did what you do when one joins a new organization. Quietly observe, learn the people, the culture, the traditions, and then contribute as soon as you can. I've been to many proms and awards nights and senior last assemblies and graduations, and eventually I felt like I had a pretty good handle on how things were done here at DY. Jump ahead to 2005, my dear friend and I, the late great Ken Jenks, attended a seminar on school safety and human aggression. The instructor was Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossman, a former Army Ranger and a West Point psychology professor of considerable note. Of the many things that Colonel Grossman taught us that day, 2 items stuck out in particular. One was the tale of the sheepdog. He credited the story to an unnamed Vietnam veteran, and it is very relevant. It goes like this. Most people in our society are sheep. They are kind, gentle, productive creatures who can only hurt one another by accident. Then there were the wolves, and the wolves feed on the sheep without mercy. But then there is the sheepdog. The sheepdog lives to protect the flock and confront the wolf. The sheep don't really like the sheepdog. Looks like a wolf. He has fangs and the capacity for violence, just like the wolf. The difference is the sheepdog has such a deep love for his fellow citizens that he cannot and will never harm the sheep and is willing to walk into the heart of darkness to protect them. Still, the sheepdog disturbs the sheep. He's a constant reminder that there are wolves in the land. They would prefer that he didn't tell them where to go or what to do, or be seen constantly standing at the ready. The sheep would much rather have the sheepdog cash in his fangs, spray paint himself white, and go, bah, until the wolf shows up. Then the entire flock tries desperately to hide behind one lonely sheepdog. The second thing that Colonel Grossman told us was at this time, in 2005, everyone serving in the military had enlisted or re-enlisted during a time of war. This fact had never occurred to me. I just hadn't done the math, and I was stunned by the revelation. At the break, I could see the same reaction on Ken's face, and right there I asked him how we were allowing our students to leave our halls and go off to war without one word of acknowledgement. There was no acceptable answer to the question. At that point, I had been to many awards nights and last assemblies and graduations, and I can tell you that there wasn't even a side glance at these kids. We knew about them. They were there, but they were invisible. This had to be fixed, and Ken told me to run with it. I put something together, and we launched our new recognition at Senior Last Assembly on Friday morning, June 9th. It became known as the Sheepdog Ceremony. I got up and I said a few words, and we called up the 10 seniors who had enlisted while they were still high schoolers. The 1,100 people in the gym erupted in a sustained applause. It was the amazing moment I was hoping to give them. I expect that you might recognize the last name I called that morning. It was Nicholas Exaros. You see, we'd finally gotten our act together on this. Way too late, but not a moment too soon. Nick became a United States Marine, and a very good one by every account. We celebrated his life 3 years later when he was waked in this very gymnasium. Nick was killed in Afghanistan in July of 2009. Imagine for a moment that Nick was just another invisible enlistee who left our halls without a single word of affirmation spoken. So you see, our little talk tonight is not important. It's very important. We enjoy the small solace that Nick and his 9 fellow enlistees left here knowing how proud we were of them and how grateful we were and still are for their service. And every graduate enlistee since then knows the same thing. Tonight we call up 3 members of the class of 2026 to give them their moment. Their decision to serve in our country's uniform could not have been a small one. Think about what that discussion was like around that kitchen table when it became real for their families. Military service is obviously not for everyone. 3 out of 178 isn't even 2%. That's not a knock, it's just real, and it affirms the story. It means when the wolf comes, the rest of us huddle behind our 3 sheepdogs, and on our behalf, they volunteered to step into the breach and confront the wolf. There's peril in that, and it requires respect. In a few months, dear seniors, when you have settled into your post-high school life, I invite you to find a moment to think of your sheepdogs who will be standing their posts somewhere around the globe, and use them as inspiration to find a way that you can serve others according to your particular talents. Thomas Jefferson said, "Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty." While tomorrow you will present DY with a class gift, tonight we present your class gift to the nation. Your sheepdogs will stand the watch. Their vigilance will allow us all to sleep safe and free. I know this makes you eager to join me in expressing to them how proud and grateful we are. We tell them now because sometimes there is no later. We tell them now because volunteering to serve is enough to earn it up front. We do it now because we are DY, and that is our tradition. I present your class gift to America, the sheepdogs of the class of 2026, enlisted in the United States Army, Christopher Beaton. Enlisted in the Massachusetts Army National Guard, Maria Campos. Enlisted in the United States Marine Corps, Edwin Vega. Chris. Hey, just stand here for a minute. Chris.
Oh, Chris.
Sheepdogs of the class of 2026.